Hey there, welcome to Yoga with Rachel, and welcome to your hip opening somatic yoga practice. The movements that we explore together will invite a release of physical and emotional tension from the hips and the surrounding areas. Somatic yoga invites you to get into your body. Your body is constantly providing guidance and feedback by way of sensations. You can use this feedback to inform your practice. For example, if your body is communicating that a certain movement feels good, maybe you stay with that movement longer than what I'm suggesting in the video. Or maybe you sense that your body is craving stillness. If that's the case, feel free to explore stillness, even if that means for the rest of the practice. Listening to your body in this way is an expression of self-love and compassion. So I am here to guide you, offer suggestions and ideas for you to try, but really this practice is ultimately yours to tailor. So you can take what I offer or you can leave it. If you would like to learn more about somatic yoga, please read all about it down below in the description. I invite you to bring a blanket or 2 yoga blocks or 2 thick books to your space, but really all that you need is you. All right, without further ado, let's explore. We begin today's practice on the back. Slowly ease your back body onto your mat. Allow the soles of your feet to rest on your mat if they are not already there. Walk your feet wider than hip distance apart or to a width that feels comfortable. And allow your arms to run alongside your torso. Take a moment to sense how your body is being supported by the earth beneath you. Maybe you close your eyes to help you sense this connection. Which parts of your body make contact with the earth? And how does this connection feel? Breathe in, breathe out. Begin to rock your knees from side to side, slowly melting your knees to one side and then to the other side. As you explore this gentle knee rock, stay in a range that feels good in your body, meaning that your knees do not need to come anywhere close to the ground. You can also explore a wider stance with your feet if that feels better. Connect to your breath, exploring a breathing pattern that feels good. Observe how your pelvis responds to this movement. And how does your spine respond to this gentle rock? Perhaps it might feel good to explore some gentle movement in your neck as you rock your knees from side to side. Feel free to gently roll your head from side to side, either moving in the same direction as your knees or in the opposite direction, staying in a range that feels good. This movement can offer a gentle massage to your sacrum and the back of your head. All right, when this movement feels complete for you, make your way back to center. Pausing here for a moment to sense how that movement felt in your body. For our next movement, feel free to adjust the positioning of your feet at any point so that you feel supported. With the soles of your feet on the ground and your arms at your sides, gently rock your pelvis forward so that way your low back connects with the ground. Press into your foundation as you slowly lift your pelvis, lower back, and your mid-back away from the ground. Explore pressing into the soles of your feet and then resist your heels back. So that way it's like you're moving your heels towards your shoulders, but your feet remain exactly where they are. Notice which muscles engage when you do this. Begin to soften through your heart space as you release your back body to the earth. I invite you to explore this movement on your own for a few more rounds, moving with your breath. There is an option to include your arms in the movement. So as you lift your hips away from the ground, your hands reach towards the sky and then maybe reach past your head. And then when you lower back down to the ground, your arms return back to the ground, resting along your sides. All right, wherever you are in your flow, I invite you to return to the earth. Pausing here for a moment, breathing in and out. All right, connect to your center as you hug your knees in towards your chest. Feel free to wrap your arms around your shins or place your palms on your knees. Hold yourself here for a moment. You can explore stillness or a gentle rock from side to side. Keep your right knee hugged in towards your chest as you place the sole of your left foot on the ground. Place your right ankle over top of your left thigh. And there is an option to stay here, or you can bring your left knee in, closer towards your chest, interlacing your fingers around your left hamstring. You may find it useful to flex through your right foot to send some love to your right knee. Explore what feels good in your body here. So this may be stillness, perhaps a gentle rock in your lower body, a rotation of your ankles, or maybe sending your left foot towards the sky for a hamstring stretch. You get to decide. When you feel ready, release the stretch. Place your right foot on the ground and then hug your left knee in. Drape your left ankle over top of your right thigh. You can remain here, or you can hug your right knee in as you take hold of your right hamstring. Feel free to flex through your left foot. And once again, explore what feels good for you here. All right, so when that feels complete to you, I invite you to release the stretch and hug both knees in towards your chest. Lovely. Release your feet to the ground. Slowly lower your knees to one side as you roll onto your side. Use your top hand to help prop you up to a seat on your mat. And once you have found your seat, I invite you to place your feet out in front of you and then walk the soles of your feet together. Allow your knees to fall to the sides, opening up like a book. Place your hands on your ankles as you begin to find some spinal movement. Perhaps breathing in to come forward, lifting through your heart space, opening through your front body. Breathe out through your nose or your mouth as you round through your spine, releasing your chin closer towards your chest. I invite you to continue this movement on your own, exploring a pace that feels good in your body. And maybe you play around with initiating the movement from your heart space, so allowing your heart to lead the way. Notice if that changes how the movement feels in your body. All right, when you feel ready, I invite you to explore stillness. Place your fingertips on the outsides of your legs and then bring your legs together. Wrap your arms around your shins, giving yourself a hug as you bow your head. Observe your breath. Can you feel the rhythm of your heartbeat? Beautiful. Lift your head away from your knees and then walk your feet towards the long edges of your mat. Melt your knees to the right, allowing your left hip to lift away from the ground. You can place a folded blanket under your left hip if that feels like a kind option. Place your right hand on the earth and then reach your left hand past your chest and then towards the right side, exploring a gentle spinal twist. Allow your left hip to move along with the movement. And then reset. So bringing your left arm back, and then maybe your left hip sinks closer towards the ground. I invite you to explore this movement on your own, or you can explore stillness, totally up to you. Maybe you feel like lifting your seat away from the ground as you reach your left hand over to the right side and then lower back down. So there's no right or wrong, better or worse. You are listening to what your body feels like it needs at this very moment, which is unique to you and your experiences. Wonderful. I invite you to reset, lifting your knees through center, and then taking your knees to the left side. Place your left hand on the ground as you explore those gentle reaches with your right hand, perhaps connecting breath to action, finding your own rhythm. And maybe you explore lifting your seat away from the ground, stretching your hip flexors, and then lowering whenever it feels good. Okay, kindly reset, lifting your knees back to center, pausing here to sense how that movement felt in your body. Closing your eyes may be helpful as you take stock of what's happening internally, if anything. Cross at your ankles and then make your way to all fours, finding a tabletop position. You may need to walk yourself back on your mat. And feel free to place a blanket underneath your knees for padding. Finding your stable base on all fours. And once you are there, lift your right knee away from the ground and begin to draw some circles with your right knee. You can explore small circles, medium-sized circles, or large circles, moving at your own pace. And as you explore these circles, sense the movement occurring in your right hip socket. An invitation to take your knee circle in the other direction. All right, release your right knee back to the earth and feel free to move your hips from side to side. All right, let's take it to side 2. Lift your left knee away from the ground and then begin to draw some circles on this side. As you move, observe how your weight is shifting from one side to the other. Observe how your core muscles offer support throughout the movement. An invitation to reverse your circle. And when you feel ready, release your left knee to the earth. Feel free to find some organic movement here, listening to what your body is looking for. All right, an invitation to explore stillness. Step your right foot back, keeping your toes on the ground, rocking forward and back, stretching out through the back of your leg. And then eventually hug your right knee in towards your chest, and then step your right foot between your hands. When you feel ready, lift your upper body away from your right thigh, and then place your hands on the top of your right thigh for a moment. Explore a slight rounding of your spine to help you sense your left hip flexor, perhaps feeling a gentle stretch there. And now, as you lengthen through your spine, gently press into your foundation as you resist your right foot and your left knee in towards each other. So it's like they're moving towards each other, but they remain exactly where they are. And this is a very gentle action. You can choose to reach your hands towards the sky, exploring a gentle lift of your heart and your chin, opening up through the front body. Breathe in, breathe out. Fold forward, planting your palms on your mat, and then step your right foot back. We're meeting on all fours once again. You can move your hips from side to side if that feels good. Lovely. Extend through your left leg. You can explore that gentle rock forward and back, sensing how your whole body responds to this movement. And whenever you feel ready, hug your left knee in, and then step your left foot through. Find a stance that feels supportive in your body before lifting your torso away from your thigh. Explore a slight rounding of your spine, perhaps sensing a deeper stretch in your right hip flexor, sending your breath to this area. And whenever you feel ready, begin lengthening through your spine while gently resisting your left foot and your right knee in towards each other. Reach your hands overhead, open up through your heart and your throat. Take note of what thoughts, feelings, or emotions come up for you here. Breathe in, breathe out. Lower your hands to the ground, folding forward. Curl your right toes under, lift your right knee away from the ground, and then find a rocking motion forward and back. And then step your right foot up to meet your left foot, So we meet in a standing forward fold with bent knees. With your fingertips on the ground, walk your feet towards the long edges of your mat and feel free to turn your toes out slightly. Begin to lower your seat closer towards the ground, allowing your heels to lift away from the earth, bending at your knees, finding a low squat. Feel free to explore some organic movement here, shifting your weight from side to side, moving in a way that feels good, even if it looks completely different to what I'm doing on screen. You could even explore stillness or another pose altogether. Send your breath towards your hips, encouraging a gentle release of physical and emotional tension. And when this feels complete for you, I invite you to explore stillness. And then make your way to a comfortable seat on your mat. So you may find it easier to come forward onto all fours and then come to a seat, or you can send your hands behind you to help guide you to a seat. And once you have found a comfortable seat, gently place your hands on your lower belly, connecting your index fingers together and your thumbs connect, creating a triangle. I invite you to either soften your focus or close your eyes, relax your shoulders down. Explore directing your breath towards your hands. Can you sense the movement taking place underneath your hands? Can you sense any movement in your lower back? What about your pelvis and your hips? Allow your breath to release any remaining tension from your hips. Visualizing that tension releasing onto the surface beneath you. All right. When you feel ready, bring your palms together, drawing your hands to your heart. Breathe in. Breathe out to bow your head. Take a quiet moment here to thank yourself for carving out time for the somatic yoga practice. Thank you so much for joining this class. Feel free to return back to this practice to release physical and emotional tension from your mind and body, and kindly share this practice with others. Take good care. We close our practice by saying thank you or namaste.